Thank you for joining us on Dynamic Dive this morning on the Nigerian Television Authority Channel 11 Akure Dynamic Station. And this day is not going to be an exception because the year is gradually winding down, and we just need to make the year as interesting as we can for you as we are going to the end of the year gradually. Today we are going to dish out to you, as we have always been doing on Dynamic Diet. We have always been making your Saturday a delightsome one. But today I am not going to be alone on the program. But before I introduce my colleague, I am Nta Akure saying welcome to the program today.
Good morning, viewers, and many thanks for joining us on the program this morning. I am Nta Akure. Thanks for joining us.
Well, Tolua, you're welcome to the program. How's your week?
Fine.
I can see that you're looking radiant this morning,
Thank you.
ready
You
for
too.
action.
So,
Well, thank you very much. And right away, we are going to continue with the program. Toluwanimi, what do we have today?
okay, as you all know, on the program, we have a lineup, different segments that we do bring to you to make your weekend a delightful and a beautiful one, to make you relax and enjoy the weekend. And today we have our weekly mirror segment wherein we discuss an important topic and we bring in our guest. And also we have the entertainment segment whereby we talk about the entertainment world. We go into the entertainment world and know what's going on there. And also the sports segment where we go into the sporting world and we take you around the globe and know what's going on about sports. I hope you enjoy every of these segments.
Right, thank you very much, Toluwanimi, for that quick lineup there. And I believe that as we go on the ride this morning, you enjoy every bit of it. But before we go on this short break, let me quickly inform you that our weekly mirror segment this morning will be focusing on the recent policy reversal by the federal government, where the federal government has abolished the use of mother tongue as a language of teaching from the cradle to the tertiary institution. This we're going to look at today, and our guests are already prepared to join us. After this break, we'll be bringing up our guests. Don't go away.
University Zaria to no avail? Worry no more, as you can gain entry through NTA Television College Jos, an affiliate of the renowned Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where eligible candidates with a JAMB admissible scores of not less than 180 and 100 scores, and with 5 credits O-level in social sciences including English and mathematics, can turn their passion in broadcasting to profession by applying for a BSc in Mass Communication and MBTE approved innovation diploma courses in film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering, respectively. The college, as a training hub with a pedigree of professionalism in the media space, also offers specialized courses in other related fields. For more information, visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or contact 08033 834 343 and 08069 809 897. Announcer Management.
Our major currency unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian. Do not abuse the Naira. Our major currency unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian. Do not abuse the Naira.
I'm glad to know that you're still with us on this program, Dynamic Direct, and in case you are just joining us, we are now on the weekly mirror segment of the program where we're going to examine the federal government's policy reversal on the use of mother tongue as a language of teaching in our schools, especially from the primary level. And now it has been said that the English language is going to be the official language of teaching in our schools from cradle even to the tertiary institution level. And this morning we are having our guest that will be discussing with us. And right here in the studio, we are having an educationist, a seasoned educationist. With us here is also a juniorist, is a public affairs commentator. This morning we are having with us live in the studio Comrade Kende Odudu. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
And we're going to join us remotely this morning is Mode Jeffrey Abidoye. He is also a public affairs analyst, and he is the founder and the president of Agenda 360. Mode, you're welcome to the program.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Good morning, Nigeria.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us this morning. Let me start. The federal government recently, in the few days ago, made a policy reversing the use of mother tongue as a language of teaching in our schools. What will be your comment about this? How will you describe this policy? Or let's even start from, yes. Mode, are you with us?
Hello, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. We are talking about federal government reversing the use of mother tongue as a language, as a teaching language in our schools. And but from your own perspective, what would you say had been the advantage and disadvantages of using mother tongue as language of teaching in our schools before now?
Well, thank you so much. I was a bit taken aback when I got the news that the existing policy, which was modified in 2022, according to the minister, which has been foundational, because the easiest way to educate, to train, and to empower a young child is to start with the mother tongue, because that is the easiest way for him or her to grasp and to understand quickly with excitement. And I must say this, that even the most developed countries that you can think about, particularly when you look at the Asian countries, they don't joke with their mother tongue. Me that I'm talking to you, I was born in a village, Akure precisely. When we started going to school, we were taught Yoruba in a lot of ways and in purpose. That's where we know our core values. That's where we emphasize culture, ethical belief, and ethical leadership. And that gives us very firm teaching. If you look at Asian countries today, and that's why they are far, either China, either India, either Korea, either Japan, even Malaysia or Singapore, the emphasis is there. And that's why you see that the most difficult subject that you can think about, particularly when you go to secondary school, which is mathematics, which very many of contemporary students are running away from. They are taught in the core languages because it is easier for them to grasp, to drop, and all that. So for me, without prejudice, so that remodification of policy, it is an understatement to say that the foreign minister is doing well in terms of policy formulation and the rest. But I'm still taken aback, and I'm still, putting myself together, particularly under the review Nigeria 360 degree. We will address a press conference on this matter.
Well, thank you very
The
much.
policy was modified in 2022. This is 2025, and you just tried for 3 years. And you came to a conclusion that because together, facts or whatever research in Lagos and one or two other places, and you say because emphasis on mother tongue now is what is a major cause of failure in our educational system, I disagree absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Mode.
You jump or conclude that way, you must try it very well. I'm even thinking by now, we should begin to do our research, educational research institute, begin to look at and borrow a trend from China, from India, and others, how to begin to teach mathematics, all these core science subjects like chemistry, physics, and the rest of them, add math, in Yoruba, in Hausa, and in Igbo. And possibly we add to that the pidgin English, which is proudly Nigeria. Nobody speaks pidgin English any other place across the world. So we should be working towards that rather than reversing to say emphasis should be on English. English is not our mother tongue. For me, we are borrowing a leaf that will not last. If we check back without prejudice, years back when the Western people came, the missionaries and the rest of them, through Western education, they discouraged our mothers from proper breastfeeding. Today, the Onyibo people are the ones that are now leading the advocacy on proper breastfeeding. Those things that we are doing, though our parents might not go to school, but they were rich in ethical beliefs, in culture, in heritage, and then native intelligence that cannot be compared to anything. I used to say it is not Onyibo that came here to teach us how to boil pounded yam, do pesto and mortar and put it inside, and pound it and turn to pounded yam. Today, they are doing blender to do what our forefathers, have done. It is not Onyibo that came here in our crudeness by our great grandfather then, how to peel beans, use what they call omori water, the local balance. They use it to grind it and turn it to my. It is not Onyibo that came here to use us, to teach us how to turn cassava through grater. They used to grate at that time. They use hand, to turn it into a grounded, this one, and then ferment it for days and then turn it to gari and the rest of it. So for me, civilization begins from here. Civilization does not come with English. We should de-emphasize English, particularly at that formative stage. Formative stage is age 1 to 13, 14, 15. These are foundational. And unfortunately today in Nigeria, particularly I'm speaking as a Yoruba man now, anywhere you see an outside man, they speak their language. All their children speak their language fully, fluently, intelligently well. Wherever you find an Igbo man, even in the moon, the first language they use in training their children, not turning them up, is the mother tongue. But Yoruba today, we have become so civilized that we are borrowing a foreign culture. There are very many, if not all, now in our society, particularly some of us that say we are educated. We are too educated now that we are living our own identity and moving away from what gives us a comparative edge in the global arena. So for me, it's something that the new Nigerian 360 degree will challenge. We are going to engage the federal government. How do we come up that? Emphasis to be on how to use mother tongue now through the research institute to now ensure that mathematics are taught in Yoruba. They are taught in Hausa language, they are taught in Igbo language, they are taught in Pidgin. Chemistry, physics, they are taught in all of those things. Adma to be taught in all of those things, and that's why you see the Indians today. Name it anywhere. ICT, AI, they are all, they take over all those things. Because these things are taught to the children at early stage in their life, in their mother tongue. They get it faster, they get it better, and they develop with it, and they run with it. We have that as a comparative edge. We should stop borrowing, cultures that I would call aliens, that are not our own. We don't have to speak English. The most developed country in the world today is China. The most powerful, one of the most powerful presidents in the world is Xi Jinping. He does not speak English. Even in the United Nations General Assembly, they have to interpret. So what the hell are we talking about emphasizing English? What is the meaning of English?
Well, thank you very much, Mode. We have got your point.
This is what I'm saying.
Mode, we have got your point. Thank you very much.
We are going to take it up with the government. Honestly, I am not too comfortable with that.
Thank you very much,
Mode. We do
Mode.
not emphasize English over our mother tongue. That's the comparative edge. That's our identity. And any people, any country that is deviating and derailing from its own identity is unfortunate. They have no future.
Thank you very much, Mother Jeffrey Abidoye, for at least making us to know your opinion. It's very, very vocal and strong about that opinion. Let's come back to the studio here. We're still having a guest in the studio that still have one or two comments to make. Comrade Odudu, you have heard what Mother Jeffrey said over the remotely there. What is your own opinion about this?
Thank you, sir, the moderator. I observe that this is another kind of 21st century colonization. Because when people lose their culture, they will lose their identity. Because the people, the children, the learners grow up, because the first place where children learn is from home, from their immediate environment before taking them to the formal school. And now, what is the language of communication in the community? Is it English or rather the native language? And so we discover that the place where children developed or grow, that is the first language they will understand. Now coming to reverse that policy that children should be taught with English language is a modern way of colonizing us, taking us back again to the point that we will lose our identity. Then definitely, and I know that was what Nebuchadnezzar did in the Bible. When he brought the Jewish, the boys, he first of all changed their name to those Babylonish names so that they will lose their identity and lose their self-esteem and got integrated and abandoned their own, personal beliefs. And when children were not being taught in their native language, now to foreign language, it will be difficult for them to grasp the concept. And not only that, the understanding will be very difficult. It becomes very hard because they were not used to it. Learning becomes very difficult. Actually, learning should be from known to unknown. Now, the language of their birth, mother tongues, is that thing they know. Now, when you are now taking learning from unknown to known, it becomes complex and complicated. The pupils will be confused, and then we will only end up. I want to believe that the Westerners that brought this education, what they did was for their own selfish interest, because the curriculum they left behind for us is not enough or sufficient to take us to where they are presently. So I am of the opinion that teaching pupils with foreign language like English is going to make teaching and learning complex and complicated for the pupils.
Okay, so you have been in the classroom for years.
Yes.
Right? Has this policy ever been in operation?
Yeah, it's yes.
The policy of using mother tongue.
Yes, it's in operation because, like I teach mathematics, they say fingers are not equal. Children that comes to the school, they came from different backgrounds, from learned home, from illiterate homes where they don't even speak English. And now, when those children were brought together in a class, and you are now blowing English, blowing grammar, you will discover that those who came from disadvantaged background will not understand. So most of the time what we do is we will interpret sometimes. We will come down because I've discovered that most of them will not understand what we are talking. So we will need to use native language, mother tongue, to express these things. And over the time I discovered that it works. Yeah, it works. They understand, and they are able to come in terms with those parents, those pupils that came from enlightened home.
Let me come to you before I go back to Mode that is joining us remotely. Mode Jeffrey Abidoye raised a very critical point while he was talking. He said when we're looking at failure in the examinations, that the federal government concludes that it is the mother tongue that affects students' performance. Is this a holistic perspective or just something that...
It is not true. It is not true. Are they in class? How many of them, they will sit in the office? They will just come up with one kangaroo statistics. Maybe did they visited the villages? There are a lot of things that contributed to failure. It's not about mother tongues. The convenient, the teaching and learning environments, it helps students. Conducive atmosphere. Then the materials, the teachers, most schools now are in debts of teachers. They take, for instance, when teachers are still taking 30 periods per week, maybe 6-7 periods in a day. How effective in a large class of 60, you will not be able to deliver the best. So presently, in virtually all schools, they don't have enough teachers. And they should have addressed the cause, the remote cause, rather than saying the mother tongue. It's not the mother tongues. It's not the mother tongues. They should have gone into what is actually wrong.
Because of that
failure. Yes, it's not mother tongue. Yes, it's not mother tongue at all.
Mother, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm hearing you.
I want to ask a very critical question at this point. In recent time, we have had kind of policies that are rolled out by the federal government, especially in the education sector. Do you think that most of those policies that the all stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, were involved in making these policies, and how do we think we should go about making these landmark policies like this? Hello, Mode.
Hello.
Are you still with us?
I didn't get that question very well. You said what?
What I'm saying is this: in making a policy, a monumental policy like this, that have a lasting effect on our education system, don't you think we rush too much to make that policy? Were all stakeholders involved, and was there enough consultation before that policy was made?
All right. I must say this. This current minister has done well when you compare to his predecessor. But in this circumstance, on this issue of mother tongue policy, he's taking us away, taking us back. And I have told you we are going to challenge this. Proper consultation. He is taking reference to the policy that was made in 2022. That's about 3 years ago, before it came on board. Emphasis should be on redefining, on the modification, on the directing. The question should be, why are we not performing well? You see, we are in a world now that there's a lot of disruption and distraction for the younger generation. Yeah. I was born in a village. We know what it takes. In fact, some of us, because of our background at that time, there was no light, no electricity to read. We used light, this lantern, to read in such a manner that there will be smoke, your eye will be pestering you and all that kind of something. We do all of that. You see, this younger generation, this care generation, this digital generation, talking from the parental perspective, they are over-pampered. There are a lot of distractions. Now, a child that is in KG, kindergarten, KG 1, 2, or whatever, primary 1, have access to phones. These are distractions. These are things that are not making them to do well. They are mentally lazy. They don't read. The fundamental reason why performance in NECO, in WAEC, and in JAM is becoming alarming was because students are no longer serious about academics. Teachers are not well motivated. Teachers are being owed salary for 3 months, 6 months, and the rest of them are so many other things. The quality of the teacher will determine the quality of the education. So what I expect the Ministry of Education to do, this is part of the thing that we have even itemized. We have even written a proposal to UBEC. UBEC should now redefine to see how they can really encourage and motivate teachers in primary school. They should encourage how they can motivate teachers in secondary school. And then we need to turn 360 degrees back, where emphasis should be on core values, the culture of reading, Today's students don't read anymore. In those days, it is not only criminal, it is suicide mission. For you to be linked to say, oh, you teach in an exam like white, like NECO. We are aware that today parents arrange miracle centers for their wards. We are aware today that they register their children in miracle centers. All right? This cut across, even those in the military and all that kind of something. So we are living, our core values of integrity. Emphasis are no longer there. There are no proper parents, no adequate parenting. Every child anywhere in the world, particularly in this time, we were born into it. They need five-fold things. I call it the five-fold ladder for every child that is going within 40. They are the formative stage. The first is love. The second is discipline. The third is affection. The fourth is moral value, and the fifth is godly virtue. These are foundational. These are fundamental. Once you give this adequately, today there are no emphasis again on reading culture. The children are distracted, both at home or anywhere. In those days, we come from school. We close by 2 or 2:30. We go and meet our parents in the farm. Even our parents didn't go to school. When we come back, they emphasize, go and take trouble, go and read. But today, all those things are gone. Televisions are all over the places. Android phones are all over the places, and so many other things and other. These are distractions. And you know what? Unfortunately, TikTok, the author of TikTok, the guy that designed TikTok is a physically challenged. He doesn't have legs in China. If we check Chinese media waves today, TikTok are not used for dirty things. But in our society today, in our school, you see our students using TikTok, they will strip naked, they will be doing all kind of immoralities, recording, and so many other things that they are doing. Emphasis are no longer on culture and values and virtues anymore. You see, they give a lot of time to sensational things that will not help them at that age. That's why the failure is coming from. The quality of teaching is not what it used to be. The quality of respect between the teacher and the student is not what it used to be. And all that. So these are fundamental things that the government needs to begin to look into so that we can resolve. For instance, let me give you an instance. My daughter, my third born, went to Federal Government College Akure. At the foundation stage, when the 104 Unity Secondary School across this country was to bond us together as a country and as a people. Hard work brings success. But in most of these private schools today, you know a lot of things, garbage in, garbage out, and all that. In public school today, a lot of things are going wrong. The government is losing, and then they are they are losing the grip because proper attention are no longer being given to all these foundation things and so many other things and others. So emphasis to be directed towards mother tongue. Emphasis to be directed to ensure that our parents actually parenting and not pampering. A lot of things are going on in our society. Abnormality has become normal. So the performance, the failures in our society today is traceable to those things that no government is glossing over. It's not bringing English. Is it English that would not make them to pass? There's no miracle, there's no magical way to success in exam other than for you to sit down and read. In fact, their own generation is they are even lucky. I call this generation now the luckiest generation. Because through AI today, there is no information that you need that you don't have access to. So they are able to perform far better than we in those days. That you have to read and read and read. You don't have any other way or whatever. But today they have so many innovations that will help them to do better than even we in those days. So the emphasizing the mother tongue, I disagree absolutely. And I want to tell you, I can mention countries like the Philippines that implemented mother tongue based on multilingual education. I can equally tell you about Bolivia that passed the National Education Act with emphasis in 2010. Even in Africa, we have Rwanda that is implementing mother tongue education with what they call Kinyarwanda as the primary language, improving reading, writing, and mathematical skills. And that's why you see Rwanda today moving faster than any other country in Africa. In Zambia, they introduced mother tongue education with Luvabe as one of the languages used, showing improved test scores and all that. So there are a lot of countries who are emphasizing that. And that's why I'm saying what the Federal Minister of Education should be doing now is to now gather all the NIEPA, National Education Institute and all that kind of something, National Institute of Clinical and all that kind of stuff. Bring all those research institutes together, let them go and think. and then see how we can begin to teach mathematics in Yoruba, in Hausa, in Igbo, and in Pidgin. Physics, chemistry, all those things, to be teaching them in those languages.
Thank you very much, Mode. Thank you very much, Mode. We have got your point.
So this
clearly.
is my position, and like I said, we are going to take it up. We are going to rubbish us. This idea of borrowing, this idea garbage in, garbage out, and all that. Look at the democracy we borrow from America today. Look at the network that is sitting on all over the places.
Thank you very much, Mode.
We should begin to look at how we can do things now that other countries can begin to borrow from us. We are better in all ramifications. There's something that we are lacking on. It's not this policy somersault. This this government comes, same policy, and another comes, change another policy, and another. It's not helping us at all.
Thank you very much, Mode. Let's come back to the studio now. We are to our live guest. Toluwani, I think you have something to add.
Yes, sir. Sir, you said earlier that you have been in the class.
Over 25 years.
Over 25 years. Good.
Yes.
That I want to ask, could it not be better if subject curriculum had been developed in modern tongue?
Yeah.
And could this not have been responsible for the federal government decision?
Yeah, yes, it could have been possible to design curriculum in mother tongues, taking into cognizance the background. You know, like in Nigeria, we have three major or culture. If that is done, and then teachers who are given orientations, a kind of learn and relearn, and because teachers that were taught in English now bringing curriculums in mother tongues, they will need to be informed, all right? And then if that is done, it's going to improve and help delivery of teaching and learning in the classroom.
So this question, maybe that could have been one of the reasons why the federal government decided, okay, since we don't have a well thought out, a well designed curriculum in mother tongue, why then leaving it to chance? Why not we just, go by the language that we have the curriculum already?
Yeah, when you look at things, actually, both whatever have advantage has its own disadvantage too. But the problem is that teachers who are not being are trained, and there should be some kind of training and retraining. This is not there. They don't expose them to workshops and seminars. There is no vote for that at all, except maybe a teacher will go for workshop, especially English and maths. Maybe the last time when I went was organized by TRCN, and that was 2022. So, and that is only few of us were privileged to do that. So, if the government is saying, okay, let's return back to, that is not the best, really, because each teacher knows how to present is to ensure that, because the success of the student is the joy of any teacher. If you have not been able to deliver the content or being able to fulfill the evaluations, the objective of your teaching, the goal of your teaching, no teacher will be happy. Are you getting me? So in their own way, they've been using mother tongues to make up for it. Most especially those schools in rural areas, you know.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me also ask this question. Maybe this by this time is fast spent, we are going to round off. But let me ask this question. We're talking about designing curriculum in a mother tongue. Nigeria, we don't have a local language as lingua franca.
Yes.
Then, will it not be, how would it not impact us negatively? It means if a child is schooling in the southwest, where Yoruba is the dominant language, by the time the child moves to the east, where Igbo is the dominant language, how will such a child be able to cope? Maybe you answer that one and also give us your parting word. Then I will ask Jeffrey to help us talk about that also.
Okay, like we have, that's a big problem, because in my class we have so many Igbos, we have so many Hausas. But one thing about children is that it's easy for them to pick language. they are easily integrated more than the adults. If an Igbo person or Igbo child stay in a vicinity for a year, it's very most likely that he will cope. So we have seen them, most Igbo children, they speak English, Yoruba. So that's not going to be a problem, except for those pupils are just coming to the system.
Thank you very much. Mode, are you still with us? Mode? Wow, I think we've lost connection with Mode Jeffrey. But
I am here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Mode, I can hear you now.
All right.
We are looking at the issue of Nigeria not having a local language as a lingua franca. Most of those countries you mentioned the other time that they have their curriculums developed in their languages, they have local language as their lingua franca, not the English language. But in Nigeria, where you have major, in fact, we have 3 major tribes, then some others that are not major. Now, if we are to develop our curriculum in our local language, how will a child that is migrating from one region to another be able to cope? There's somebody that schools in a particular region, how will he or she be able to cope in another region? Please give us that one shortly, and then that will be your parting word also.
Well, thank you so much. Without much ado, it's the simplest thing to do, because the only constant in life is change. All right, your change must be positive. Okay? As we speak right now, we have about 375 ethnic tribes and tongues in Nigeria. But if you look at the 19 northern states, for instance, the dominant language is Hausa. 85% of people in the north, this is from the 90s, fluently. Apart from maybe part of Kogi that you can talk. All right? So more 85% speak Hausa. So Hausa is very good. 2, in the southwest, up to All right? Up to part of River State, they speak Igbo in languages. That gives us so become.
Wow, I think we've lost contact with. Wow, it's like the network is not making us to hear model again.
Where you need to begin to look at subjects. Okay. If you are from the north, already you can see the 3 of languages very well. In fact, it's my interest with that part of our project, the Laguna Executive 360, is to establish what we call Leadership and Languages Center in geo-political zones of the country. We have these 3-4 major languages that I'm highlighting to you. We are already working, we are putting, we are writing a curriculum on it. We are in an average Nigerian to be able to speak Hausa, speak Igbo, speak Yoruba, and then speak fluently. That gives us an edge. So, wherever you go to across the country to promote unity, you can relate well. Particularly at that formative stage. Because age 1 to 15, you can communicate effectively well in these 4 languages. In fact, the speaking English like an item on the cake is Jara. So you will feel comfortable to integrate, to feel free. Imagine if you want to buy a part in the market now. If you are speaking an Igbo, to an Igbo man that is selling it, the tendency for you to be able to get the price lower is there. If you go to any part of the north or you make an Hausa now, in Akure there, where you are now, if you buy anything from an Hausa person and you speak an Hausa, what ordinarily will sell for you, the ordinary will sell for others for 300. Because you can speak Hausa, he's willing to part with you for 250 or 200 because you can communicate in the full language. It has a sense of belonging. This is what a country should be looking at if we are talking about promoting unity and peace across this country and not taking us away to a foreign language. No, it doesn't help us.
Thank you very much, Mode. Time is no longer on our side. I'm sorry for cutting in.
The definition, it should be something that will take us better, make us better in where we are coming from, looking at the future.
I'm sorry for cutting in at this point.
How many people come here to say they want to come and learn Yoruba? So why are we emphasizing their own language? Is that our mother tongue? If our president gets to the United Nations General Assembly, he cannot communicate in English. If he speaks in the outside, let them translate it to the whole world. They must respect us the more. But the moment you try to be like them, they don't respect you. We have an ethical culture. There is no other country, no place on the planet Earth today that God bless in terms of diversification of culture, ethical beliefs, heritage, and belief systems than Nigeria. So it's a matter of the policy of the government, those who are there, to think broadly and then to see how we can begin to define, to make things proudly our own that others can become, can borrow from, to become a contagious identity and a benchmark. This is it.
Thank you very much, Mode. Time is no longer on our side. We are already running out of time. Thank you for joining us remotely this morning and therefore lending us your thoughts on this critical national issue.
Thank you for having me. A brand new Nigeria is loading, where we have stability in a lot of these things, that we are the future of the world, not only Africa. We are not giants in size alone. We are giants in everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Comrade Dudu, your parting words?
Thank you. When we are importing other languages, we are losing our identity, we are losing our originality, we lose our self-esteem and self-worth. And so I will be of the opinion that there is need for us to reverse this policy and see how we build self-esteem of the pupils, of the learners, so that they will be able to learn fast. Because one of the things it does, it aids learning. Mother tongues aid learning, and then it enables them to grasp concept fast. So I will be of the opinion that the federal government should have a rethink on that policy. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We are now going to the next segment. That's the entertainment segment. Please don't go away.
No avail, worry no more, as you can gain entry